from your Barclays team and is being recorded for quality purposes.
Hello, is that Mr. Wackham?
Speaking.
Hello there, it's Anna calling. I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late, I was on a call.
Fair enough.
I just need to go through security with you.
Yeah, sure.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, so I have done my investigations into your complaint.
Yeah.
Now, I just wanted to start off by apologising to you because
Why do you feel you need to apologise?
Yes, I feel as though it hasn't been looked into as deeper as it could have been.
Okay.
Because obviously you sent over the evidence of the business account, so I did a bit further investigation, digged a bit deeper. I found the business account that you had.
Yeah.
So I am sorry that we were unable to find this information before.
Yeah.
So I looked back on the business account, the notes on there into, I think it was around 2012.
Yeah.
2011, 2012, 2013. I looked through all of the notes on there, and I can see that it was moved to our collections team. So the reason it was closed was due to the fact that debt was unpaid, and it was closed on a balance of £3,902.28.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm gonna debunk that as well, because obviously in 2010 we had a business overdraft facility of about 15,000, and I was asked in 2010 when I disclosed that I had an accident to pay this down. We brought the business overdraft down to sub £2,000. We were still putting in about £250,000 to £300,000 a year post my accident. Right. Then Barclays went very quiet, and then Barclays, in, as you say, about 2011, 2012-ish, just went click and turned all the lights out on my company and me. And I'm glad we've kind of established this now, because if there was £3,000 in the balance, I was well within the overdraft limit, and then Barclays would have acted, well, as the Ombudsman found in my favour on that subject, a little bit harshly, I think is the word that would describe that quite well.
Well, the account was closed that £3,902.28 was owed. So I can see that you were in discussion with the team about repayment.
Yes.
So you wasn't debanked for any personal reason. It wasn't debanked just for no reason at all. It's because that money was owed on the account. I can send you the ledger statements if you're wanting to see them. So I am unable to uphold the complaint due to that fact, because we did close the account as £3,900 was owed.
Yeah.
But I am upholding your complaint in regards to the service that you've received, as I feel we could have dug a bit deep into the account to see if you did have a business account with us.
15 years down the line, and your letter dated the 30th of April, Luke Ash, my colleague Luke Ash, blah, 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 advised you in 2023, we have no records of your business account. So is Luke Ash a liar as well then?
Yes, so I do apologise for that. Luke has made an error, so I did want to offer you some compensation for that error that he's made. And as I said, I am upholding your complaint due to the service and for the error that Luke has made there, and a feedback will be provided to Luke regarding that. But unfortunately, in regards to everything else, I'm not unable to uphold as the account was closed. You weren't debanked for any personal reason. It was because money was owed, and we closed it on a balance of £3,900 that you owed to us.
Again, I'm going to dispute
I can
that.
See that there's also some notes on there saying that you didn't want to, you only wanted it to be discussed with you and not your wife, because it was upsetting for her. So
your bank, let me just get this out as well so we have it once on the table correctly. In 2009 I was nearly killed. I don't need your apologies for that because I survived that. In 2010, once I'd learned to walk and speak again, I told Barclays, and Barclays said, oh my gosh, We'll offer you whatever help we can. Blah, blah. I said, the business is not affected. We'll carry on. It'll be great. And then in 2011, which is what I've stated all along, and I don't care how you arrived at this figure, because I've got bank statements going back to that, where there was a lot of fluctuation. I had to pay our solicitors about 100 grand, and that had to come from somewhere. My mortgage and my income and everything is tied to my business account, which you then decided to close for whatever reason. For the sake of £3,000, you are made a hostile move on my mortgage, breaching our contract effectively of mutually being nice to each other. You know, had the bank supported me, my personal compensation claim would have been paid. That's £1 million payout. So for the sake of 3 grand, Barclays is trying to enrich itself at my cost. And it's taken you 15 years, right, to get to the point where someone said, oh yeah, you did actually have a business account, but you may have been a bit in arrears because my business overdraft was probably only £2,000. I was outside of those terms, fair enough, but you understood my circumstances, yeah? There's not many people that are basically have been killed, come back to life, and have discussed it with their bank, and have had this action taken on them. I mean, it's quite astounding, really. Anyway, do carry on. I'm be interested to hear what you say next.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying, and I know you said don't apologise to your actor, but I'm sorry to hear that happened to you. As the account was moved to a recovery team, that was then in their hands as there was money owed on there. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's nothing else that I can do. Yeah. Now, I'm completely and truly sorry that this has taken 15 years, as you say, for somebody to say, you did have a business account, and I'm glad I managed to find for you that you did. But obviously, what I have found is that there was, £3,900 owed on there. So that is why we had to end the,
well, it's not, yeah, but it's not
relationship.
Okay. The way the relationship was ended was I was actually abroad working, and I had my debit cards and bits and pieces from Barclays Bank, which then were rendered absolutely ineffective, which might even include my personal account. Yeah, so that's a catastrophic failure on Barclays' behalf, knowing what my circumstances were, and Barclays has for 15 years refused to discuss this. The Ombudsman kind of partially found in my favour and said the best way forward is negotiate. Now, I've made 3 offers to Barclays how we can resolve this. After all, you took the action. I didn't. I am the victim in this. And it's, number 1, we stop the clock at the moment that the debanking or closing the accounts or whatever you want to call it took place. Whatever money I gave you subsequently, which I did, gets taken off the figures I owed you under the contracts, and whatever remains, that becomes the new mortgage, and then I'll take that mortgage elsewhere, because it's pretty obvious that Barclays doesn't want me as a customer. So that's my offer, and it still stands on the table. It's the most elegant way of getting out of this mess.
Yeah,
which you caused.
I can't do anything further for you. As I said, I will be upholding your complaint for the service received, and I'd like to offer you £150 compensation for the service and us not finding this for you.
Can I have 15 years back?
It has been frustrating. You can think about whether you want to accept it or if you don't. It's completely, up to you. But unfortunately, that's the only part of the complaint that I'm able to uphold due to the fact that this account was with our collections team and there was money owed on the account. So I can send you a letter just summarising our call today, and you're welcome to take that back to the Financial Ombudsman Services. But that's unfortunately all that I can do for you, Mr. Bracken. As I said, you don't have to accept the offer of £150, but if you want to have a think about it and just send me an email and let me know that you're happy to accept it and respond to my letter, I'll put it into an account of your choice.
Well, listen, I know you can't necessarily grasp the gravity of the situation, that Barclays has put me into. So it's £1. No, it's £10 for every year. £10 for every year that we've been in dispute.
What would you be happy with?
Well, I would be happy if I can help you facilitate the process of negotiation to remove, number one, because it wasn't just we'll just close the account. You absolutely destroyed my credit rating, and I couldn't get another bank account for a year.
I'm sorry to hear that, but
again, it's not for you to apologise, and please don't, because I find it quite upsetting as it is. You caused my wife's breakdown. You sent a man, apparently, who was going to come and negotiate, who then threatened my wife, and he came back and he threatened me. You've sent countless solicitors' letters. I mean, this must have cost hundreds of thousands of pounds to Barclays. And you won't accept what I think is a reasonable, elegant way to close this matter for all parties. You know, it's a little bit.
We're unable to do that. If you're thinking of like a higher compensation payment for the service that you've received, I'm willing to negotiate on that, but unfortunately.
Okay, well, keep going up. Let's see what this number tops out at, because I find it, you know, I don't want to say it's farcical, but 15 years.
I mean, if you're not happy with £150, and I know you've just said, you know, this has been 10 to 15 years of trying to say to us that, you know, you did have an account with us, I'm happy to raise it to £200, but that's the highest I'm able to go.
Have you got a boss? I mean, who's in charge of your department? Or do I just write back to you, the CEO man?
You would need to write back to the CEO.
Okay.
I am at the highest. So I am in the executive customer relations team. I am a manager in the team.
Nice.
We do have obviously team leaders within our team, but they don't take calls.
I wonder
so if you're
why.
not happy, then you would just need to keep writing back to the CEO. But I do need to bear in mind that I do need to make you aware that if there's been like multiple times that we've told you that we're unable to uphold it, there will be a point where we will just have to stop replying.
Well, the problem isn't, you see, this is where Barclays kind of makes a fundamental error, which is Barclays claims this is being completely resolved. It's completely resolved, don't worry, it's all finished now. But you, Barclays Bank, not you personally, Barclays Bank chose that action, and it's only now coming to light that, I mean, the only word that describes it is bullshit, isn't it? That all of this mess has come to the surface, right? 15 years down the line. I know it's for you. 15 years is probably nothing, but my injuries are life limiting. Right? I've done everything I can to get over my injuries. I'm never going to get 15 years back, am I? I can't fix my wife's mental condition, which your bank caused. I can't fix my daughter's anxiety and fear of the banking world. And she has to live her whole life in that world because she'll need financial products as she goes along. I can't fix any of those things. And you're telling me that £200 fixes the problem.
I can send you some organisations in regards to, mental health. And
I don't think I don't think I personally need them. I think it's Barclays as a company that needs some form of mental intervention.
I'll note your comments internally, Mr. Wacker.
That would be lovely. Okay, and I shall write another letter to Mr. Venkat, or the other chap whose name I found, and then obviously I'll just write my blog and then one day that will go viral, and then we'll see where we end up.
Okay, I'll send you a letter. You should receive that within 3 to 5 days. Okay.
Lovely. Okay, thanks very much.
All right, have a good day. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow. Well, at least it proves I had a bank account. Fucking hell. Mental, right?